Hey, Sean here from SpeedCubeReview.com. So let's go over some patterns. Now these are some of my favorite patterns. I'm going to show you how to do them. I'm going to start with the easiest one, which is this checkerboard pattern. Basically, you're just turning all the middle layers 180 degrees. Now, some of these patterns can be done on larger cubes, but not always the same way. So we can do the exact same thing like this on a 4x4 where we turn the two middle layers, and that works to make a checker pattern. But on even layered cubes, you cannot make a checkered pattern through each piece. So for example, what's really happening is we're turning each layer 180 degrees from the one before it. So you can see what I'm doing here. Problem is we get a checkered pattern on a couple of the sides, but not all of them. It is not possible to do this pattern on all the sides on an even layered cube. So the only thing you can do is something like this. But when you have odd numbered cubes, like let's say a 7x7, it will work. So you just turn each layer 180 degrees from the other. So blue and green are opposite, and then red and orange are opposite, and then white and yellow, and then you get a very easy checkered pattern. And that's it. So next, I'm going to go to another one that's fairly simple. I'm going to call the flower pattern. So all you do is take the middle layer and move it to the right, then down, then back to the left, and then back up. And that's it. It switches around 3 of the centers on 3 of the sides. So you can see white, green, and red switched, as well as the blue, orange, and yellow. Now you can do this on larger cubes as well, and do multiple layers. You can start turning the center layer from any side, so instead of starting to turn it right, I moved it down first, and then over, and then back up, and then back over again, with a little bit of locking. And now we have that same idea. Now we're going to do the exact same thing again. So I move the center down, and then over, and then back up, and then back over again. And then let's do it one more time. So we move it down, and then over, and then back up, and then back over again. So now we have this multiple flower pattern, and you don't have to stick to the same spot. If you move to other parts of the cube, you'll have different colors expanding out from the center. So now there is a different checkered pattern you could also do. This one I actually like a little bit better because instead of switching the layers on the back and the front, it rotates the 3 around. So I feel like this checkered pattern looks a lot cooler, but it doesn't just work on larger cubes like the other one did. So you cannot use this exact same algorithm for bigger ones. Now this next one is going to be the cube in a cube. I'm going to show you the part I usually do last first, just because it's a little bit easier to see what happens. What I'm going to do is turn this corner and then also this back corner. So I do that corner flipping algorithm twice, and then move to a random corner and do that 4 more times. And then I do it again, fixing that last corner I did, and going to that one in the back. And now I did that kind of fast, but basically I turned that one corner and then a random one, and then fix that random corner and turn that last one. So there's that small cube in a cube. But the big one looks a lot cooler, and the algorithm is a little bit longer, but it flows pretty nicely. Now, for the algorithm, I just put that those layers are doing B prime U, but I just turned the cube to make it a little bit easier to do. And then I did what I did that first time to do the smaller cube in a cube as well. Now this can be done on any size cube. So you can see in the 4x4, I do that first algorithm. And again, I turn the cube to make that one part flow a little bit easier. Now, on an even layered cube, when you get to that middle section, you can either do that same algorithm again, or the corner twisting one. I'm going to do that same algorithm again. And then once you get within the middle layers, then you have to do the corner twisting algorithm. So I do it twice, turn the cube to a random corner, and do that 4 more times to fix the rest of the pieces. And then I fix that random corner and go to that back one and do that 4 times. And there you go, cube and a cube and a cube. Now the last one I'm going to show you is called the Superflip. The reason it's called the Superflip is because you are flipping every single one of the edges. Now there's a lot of different algorithms out there. This is my favorite one, with the middle layer down and then U prime. And you do that 4 times. And then you turn to the right side and turn the cube counterclockwise and do it again. So you do that same move 3 times, in between each time turning the cube to the right side and then counterclockwise along the Z-axis. And you can do this on bigger cubes. So I start with the outside, moving all of the inner layers, and do the same thing, moving the center layers down and then the U face counterclockwise. Then I turn to the right side and counterclockwise around the Z-axis. And there you go. So I've got the Superflip on the larger pieces. Now I can do the same thing with the inner layers and move as many of the top layers as you need to. So since this is the second row, I'm moving 2 of the layers. And there is the Superflip. Really simple algorithm, but you have to make sure you're doing it the correct way or else it's really easy to mess up. So we've got the cube in a cube. We have the flower case. We have the easy checkerboard pattern, the Superflip, and the more advanced checkered pattern. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have a different algorithm you use for these patterns, or this is a different pattern that you like. Leave that down in the comment section below. Please hit like and subscribe for more content like this in the future, and as always, stop by speedcubeview.com for more news and reviews.